Welcome to the DaChop Team. I'm your host, Seth the Dart Child.
I'm your host, Twins Inc.
Our show is about two guys and any friends that happen to come over with a topic that we want to chop up.
This is our Barbershop style podcast. We discuss it all. If the fellas at the shop will go in on it, we will. Let's chop it up.
We back. What's going on, good people? Seth the Dart Child, how you doing, my brother?
Hey, bro, I'm enjoying this beautiful weather we having. Look like it might rain, but otherwise, it's a very nice day out there.
I mean, it's the early part of the summertime, so it's not too hot. It's just right.
You know what's weird?
What's weird?
It's June.
I know.
It's normally like this in April, bro.
I mean, but we did have some good days. I mean, 80s has been the great weather to be
It's
at.
outstanding, but
you're right, though. It's not been in the 90s like it normally has been in the
past. It should have
past.
been in the 90s by now.
Yeah, but I'm okay with it being there. It's still not, like I said, it's just right. The bugs ain't out. It's cool.
True. See, I'm gonna make this comment about global warming, even though it's not the topic of the conversation.
Right.
But if you notice, there's a huge drought going out on the other side of the Rockies. The east side of America is a lot cooler than the west side for whatever reason. And this is climate change, people. Things are happening every day.
I can't say I disagree with what you're saying, my brother.
But we're not going to talk about climate change today. What we are going to talk about is, are you still voting blindly?
Yes.
See, the reason I asked that was because, in the normal course of me watching videos and stuff during the week, something came across my news feed about Joe Biden being upset with Ice Cube again, because Ice Cube once again he was on a podcast or another show, and he just asked, "Why are you still voting Democrat?" And Biden took it offensively. So it just reminded me of something that, as a black man, as a black person, a black man specifically,
right?
It just reminded me of something that your vice president said, and I just want to tee that up, just so we'll have that as a topic of conversation. So she said,
"Do you support reparations for black people?" Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act. Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60%.
I just want to chime in on that one part. Now, bear in mind, this was 4 years ago. This isn't what she said recently. But even if you go into it about the LIFT Act, give people who make $100,000 a hand up. Bear in mind, black people in America make up 40 million people. White people in America equate out to about 260. So if she do an act called the LIFT Act, just like Barack Obama before her, who got us to vote for him and actually didn't do anything for black people then, if a rising tide lifts all boats, it's 40 million black people, 260 million white people. Who's going to be the primary beneficiary of anything that she enacts? No, not that she ever did anything like that. But if she was to have done it, we as black people, if you are in a canoe and you park beside a yacht, if she lifted up all the people at the same time, at the end of the day, you'll still be in a canoe beside a yacht. Your place in this world would not have moved 1 inch. I just want to point that out.
50% of black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit black children, black families, black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant.
Once again, if I'm in a race with somebody who has already gotten a 400-year head start,
Message.
if you say, okay, everybody, pause, don't go anywhere. I need everyone to take 10 giant steps forward. Everyone. And then you start the race back up. What changed? Nothing. You can't lift all boats and fix the problem. The problem is that we are at the bottom of the pile because of government actions, which we're going to talk about in a second. Because of government actions, you have to do things specifically to address those actions. You don't get to say everyone take 10 giant steps forward, now it's equal. It's still not equal. But to continue.
So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this. Any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that.
Once again, that is true. Policies that say do not kill, they do benefit black people. Policies that say do not steal, those benefit black people. But you also have other policies that say you have to provide loans at the same rate to everyone based on the color. Not based on the color of their skin. But we also have proof in American history. We call it redlining for one example, where that was not true. You actually had to create an act called the affirmative action just so people could get a chance at getting a decent job. It's oddly enough, not everybody was affected by that. And the truth be told, you used affirmative action in certain colleges as admissions. When they rolled back college affirmative action, specifically in California, pay attention, black college enrollment dropped. Why would that have happened? Why would black college enrollment drop when you roll back a program specifically designed to make opportunities for black people? Could it be that the system isn't actually fair in some way or another? Or the people who make those decisions in college admissions aren't being fair? That's called racism. But anyway, once again, let's let her finish digging her own grave.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people.
That's it.
No. Because whatever benefits that black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. Right?
Once again, so you heard it. I'm not going to enact a policy that only benefits black people. Now, I just want to point out something that she said this in 2020.
No, this was 2019 at the Power. This was at the Power Rising 2019 in New Orleans. So
there you go, 2019.
Yes.
Now, not even a week ago, I think 2 weeks. I have to look it up specifically. They enacted an anti-Semitic hate bill. That bill
for who?
Well, I guess it would be for the Semites. Oh, wait. Let me use the right word. The JEWS. Because I don't think I could just say their name. How that happens, right? But so the JEWS, little, let's call them the little beanie cap boys. So you enacted a policy for the beanie cap boys that was specifically for the beanie cap boys, but you can't enact a policy specifically for African Americans. Let's not forget that a few years ago you enacted a policy for which one was it? The anti-Asian hate crime bill.
Yeah, and that was like not too long ago, because remember here in Atlanta, Georgia, we had somebody was going around, was it shooting them, going to massage parlors and
No, they were attacking them. It was some bad things.
Yeah.
Not gonna knock it, but
I
you
mean,
enacted a policy
quick.
specifically for the Asians, and then let's not even talk about DACA, DACA, the Dreamer Act. Guess who you enacted that policy for?
Who?
The Hispanics.
Oh, okay.
You enacted a policy specifically for the Hispanics. So, DACA, that was Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
Anti-Asian hate crime bill,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of, specifically anti-Asian. I mean, Asian. And you just did the same thing for anti-Semite bill.
Mm.
Anti-Semite hate bill, whatever. But you cannot enact a policy specifically for black people.
And let's be clear, those last 3 programs they activated for them, I haven't heard anybody asking for those things.
Yeah, who even asked? When did this even come up for debate?
Because I'm sure we've been asking for this for decades, not just recently because Biden and them came into office. We've been asking for something for even going far as back at Obama, if not even before that. We've been asking for something, anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, we asked for reparations, of course. Why not? Everyone else got the reparations. If everything's fair across the board, then let it be fair. Why can't we get our reparations?
Well,
but anyway, I'm just saying.
Yeah, because I want to listen. I don't want to keep this going for 20. More than an hour. But the point being is that the question was, are you voting? Are you still voting blindly? When Joe Biden ran for office, and I'm saying this from black people, here's the breakdown: 97% of black women voted for Joe Biden. 97. Only 85% of black men voted for Joe Biden. But due to the way they did the numbers, that still meant that 92% of black America, period, voted for Joe Biden, for the Democrats in the last election. And if I have to ask you, and feel free, I'll wait, what tangible that African Americans get for voting 92% in the last election for the Democrats?
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're not doing a moment of silence. No one passed away, but that's for the question.
We're just waiting. Come on, answer. Yeah, thought so. Let's go back. Once again, this isn't being smart. If the black people in America since 1960 have voted in the upper 90 percentile for the Democratic Party since 1960, this includes the 96% of black people that voted for Barack Obama twice. And yet he came up with the term that Kamala Harris just quoted. If you do something that benefits America, it automatically benefits black people. That's called a rising tide lifts all ship. That was Barack Obama's doctrine. He didn't do anything specific for black people legislatively. They're still talking about the Voting Rights Act, which he had the power in office with the Democrats with the supermajority to make it a law, no longer open for debate. He didn't do that. And so now they're still talking about Voting Rights Act. Do the math. These are the Democrats who we've been supporting. What tangibles have they given us as black people at all in your lifetime? Once again, I'll wait. Yeah. So, this is my gripe. This is my gear to grind. I'll be back on it until the election, but I can't tell you in good conscience to go vote Republican. America only has 2 parties. You're either Democrat or Republican. We need the third choice would be sit your butt at home. Yeah. Don't let them shame you into saying that if you vote, our ancestors died for our right to vote. No, they didn't. They fought for our right to be free. They fought for our piece of American pie. We have voted, but we haven't been voting our best interest. We've been voting Democrat.
AKA blind.
blindly.
That's it. Our ancestors have given us the opportunity so we can vote. Yes, we agree to that. But they didn't think that you was going to vote one party just because your grandma did it, your great grandma did it.
Exactly.
That's what we always been doing. Because what, as Seth the Dark Child just stated, what has benefits have we saw as far as the black people we have seen? I mean, we think about during the election when Biden was running, we had the Black Lives Matter, we had Ice Cube, and we in those two things we specifically ask for things, right, from both sides, even though we couldn't get along with each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though we couldn't get Black Lives Matter and Ice Cube on the same page and combine together, but at the end of the day, they both had great things that we was asking for in the black community. And guess what? We're 3 years in from the time that he became president, and still we have got nothing.
Yeah, and we're gonna the word he's saying the things they were called tangibles, things we could feel. I wanna readdress the Ice Cube portion specifically because Ice Cube went on a talk. Cube went on a talk show on Fox Soul. And there were 4 black women on the panel. One of which who I'm not a fan of, Vivica Fox and the Kevin Samuels boy. Shut up, Vivica. But Ice Cube he came up with the program. He didn't come up with it. He talked to scholars. He talked to legal experts. He talked to professors and people who actually knew.
Right, and to be clear, he just happened to be the face because he's well known. Everybody knows Ice Cube across the board. So that's why, like you just said, it wasn't him in a room wrote everything down. He had partnered with a bunch of, like you said, scholars and people to help him out. Go ahead. Yeah,
and the reason that they came to Ice Cube specifically is because in America they don't respect us. Democrats, they don't respect us. When they engage with the black community, they only engage with entertainment celebrities, aka Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Cardi B, for Christ's sake. They don't, Killer Mike. It's so many other people that they could reach out to in the black community that actually are economists or college professors. These people know what. Listen, I'm not gonna. If you really want to know how to help the black community, why didn't you reach out to Farrakhan, for Christ's sake? Why was even Ice Cube even part of that conversation? Farrakhan is the closest thing to an actual leader left in the black community that has black centric views and is going to help us. They would. Anyway, moving on. When Ice Cube came out, he said he wanted tangibles. He presented his plan to Donald Trump at the time, 3-4 years ago, and Joe Biden's team. Donald Trump's team, Joe Biden. The Republicans said, let's sit down and talk. I don't know what the outcome of that conversation was. Ice Cube didn't share that. But he did say that the Democratic team said, come to us after the election and we'll have a conversation. Ice Cube was like, no, I want to understand why I should vote for you. The Democrats were like, we'll talk after the election. The Republicans talked before the election. Right? Well, at the same time, at this point, Ice Cube himself, they never came back and talked to him. They didn't want to hear what he had to say.
Facts.
They just wanted his vote. Shut up and vote.
Kind of like shut up and dribble.
Exactly. Just like LeBron, shut up and dribble. That's all they want. They just want your vote, but they will not give you a tangible. And I mean a tangible, once again, I'll use reparations. The average black family in America is worth approximately I think it's like at $30,000 at best right now in America. In less than 10 years, it's expected to be $5 The average white family in America is worth $240,000, right? Historically speaking, we can go through a whole bunch of stuff to say redlining, Jim Crow, even slavery. All of these happen to make sure that the white people have a different slice of the pie than black people. When Kamala Harris says, give everybody something that benefits them, if you give white people $100,000 and black people $100,000, that means that I have $100,000. They have $350,000. I still can't afford to live in the neighborhoods they live in. I can't afford to go to the schools they go to, because the house you buy for $100,000 is not the house you buy for $350,000.
Message.
Okay, so all this reparations, you give black people in America their cut. If you give me $1 million and I don't change my living situation, I don't change my prospects, I don't change my outlook on life, guess whose fault that is?
Yours.
But you don't justify not giving it to me unless you can give it to white people too. They've already cheated the system for 450 years.
That's a fact. And also, too, before we wrap it up, when you think about the Black Wall Street that we had, right, that got burned down, we had banks there, right? We have our own community, and we was running everything from hospitals to banks to schools, everything, police, all that was our own. Don't you know? After the riot and everything, they went to the banks. They get their money out. And mind you, this probably $1,000 and $100,000 at that time that community generated.
Well, even if it was $15,000, in today's day would be millions.
That point is what I'm getting at. They went to the banks to get their money, and they was denied their money. Mm-hmm. So all that money that's sitting there, someone has that money. Not someone, many people, not just one person. It wasn't just one person's job. But the point I'm trying to make is that what Seth just said, that let's say it was $15,000 that our black community has back in the day. That money is worth triple that now. Well, I'm just
at least 100 times.
Okay, I said triple. See, 100. So that's even more than that. But the point I'm trying to make is there is a head start there. That's what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. People they always want to say, "Well, go back to Africa or do your own thing." Every time we try to do our own thing, you don't like when we do our own thing.
Well, no. We're not. We're gonna cut it. We're gonna end it right in a second. But I want to curse this.
Oh yeah.
You didn't just interfere with us doing it. You burned Tulsa to the ground. You burned Gainesville to the ground. You burned Rosewood to the ground. You flooded Oscarville. You've had race riots. You've had redlining.
Philadelphia.
You had Jim Crow. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't small things.
No.
There has been a systematic across the country effort to keep black people disenfranchised. So when somebody who bears my complexion but has never lived in my community says, I'm not going to enact a policy that benefit only black people, she's the enemy. And she's the vice president.
And she's a Democrat.
So once again,
it circles back around is that, are you still voting blindly?
You better learn to vote your interest.
Yeah, vote. I mean, we're not saying who to vote for. All we're saying is that when we ask you or you ask us anything about who we voting for, I'm sure me and Seth can give you tangible why I'm voting this person or this party, right? Not because they're black or whatever, right? We did it. We did it already for 8 years and got burned, got nothing out of it. So I'm no longer going that route anymore.
Nah.
I'm guilty. I was one of the people. He's black. I voted. I did it. I was one of the people.
And I'm gonna own up to it.
Yeah.
On the last presidential election, I sat it out. I didn't vote. And because why? Who was I gonna vote for? Joe Biden or Donald Trump?
I mean,
look, there was no benefit to either.
Well, I mean, also to add to that, after 8 years of getting nothing out of it, what makes you think someone's going to do something different? If there was a person who's in office who looked like me and you, or dark skin, hair, no,
what she does?
Wait, like me and you, dark hair, brown skin, whatever, and we got nothing out of it. What makes you think that a woman now is going to do something for men? I'm just going to leave it right there.
Yeah, we're going to park that car. But once again, are you still voting blindly? Honestly, this isn't me attacking the Democratic Party. I am attacking politicians. Ron DeSantis in Florida.
Oh,
okay. I'm gonna put this on it. Woo. Like I look at the Mexicans, and I'm gonna end it right here. I look at the Hispanics in Florida. Ron DeSantis, his name sounds Hispanic anyway. He's straight up turned on them. Oh, he's attacking them. They're mad. They're mad at what he's doing to Hispanics in Florida. Disregard the NAACP travel warning for black people in Florida. He's an equal opportunity racist. But you know what the funny part is? The Hispanics are mad, but over 35-40% of Hispanics in Florida, almost half of them, voted for him.
Make it make sense.
Because they didn't like the other party's candidate. That person. Just saying, I don't know what's right and wrong. I'm just asking, do your homework.
Yes.
Read your books.
Yes.
Study. Quit watching mainstream media.
Definitely.
Read. It's too much independent media on YouTube right now, on social media. Do your homework and quit voting blindly. Vote your interest, not your party.
And on that note, thanks for tuning to the DaChop Team. Live recordings on Sundays, 3 p.m. Normally we have video, but we have some technical difficulties, so that's why you just got audio. But the audios will drop on Monday mornings, 7 a.m. on all the major podcast platforms. You know, the iTunes, Spotify, iHeart. The DaChop Team is there. Just go to Google and type in the DaChop Team. It'll pull right up. Anything else you want to say before we wrap it up, Seth?
I think that's it. We could keep talking, but
yeah,
we're gonna go to another one.
We're gonna go another topic. We love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the feedback, because we're cutting our shows a lot sooner now because people who do listen to us do provide us feedback. So thank you to all the listeners who do listen to us and give us feedback, topics, whatever to talk about. So thank you. We wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for you. So I'm out.
Peace.
Peace.